are listening to the War Rapport.
Kick us off.
Okay, so schedules. You guys have been asking for this for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, will you guys do schedule predictions? And we've held off because we didn't have to, right. Yeah, but
we have a content schedule, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but we needed to get the requisite amount of information. Anything we would have said about this a couple months ago definitely would have changed by now based on how we know the offseason developed. So I'm going to jump right into mine. So in the boss column, Mercer, obviously San Jose, first two games. We'll see how those games go, but obviously I expect those to be wins. Missouri is the game that you absolutely, I put this in the boss column, but you absolutely positively can't lose this game. Not if you want outlook to stay positive. It doesn't mean they can't recover from it, but you're going to have a lot of questions to answer if you lose to this year's South Carolina. You can't. You're more talented. You should be able to out-coach them, out-everything them, out-athlete them, all of it. You just have to be better that game. LSU, now, people will go back and forth. This will be 3 years straight if they beat LSU. 3 years straight. So
Wow.
if I don't see them losing this game this year, I think that they're, like to Caesar's point, they're going to be going through a lot of the first-year things the first-year SEC West head coaches go through. And that's going to show up on the scoreboard and on the stat sheet and in the record column. And I think that I'm putting this as a W for Auburn. Mississippi State, that's the revenge game. That's the revenge game for me. I think you should have won that game. You could have won that game, and you just have to do what it takes to beat them. Now, I'm real high on Will Rogers, but ultimately, I think that they'll game plan a lot better for this. I think that defense will get after him, so I'm putting that in the boss column. Ole Miss, I can't see it. I think, to me, they got worse. Hear me out. Ole Miss got worse. They didn't get better. I don't think they're better without Matt Corral. I don't think that Jackson Dart is it. I don't think that, I'm not saying he doesn't have talent, but, that doesn't fill me with confidence that he's going to be able to step in and fill Corral's shoes, who, by the way, we whooped his ass up and down the field last year. Give me a break. Now, he got hurt. He went in and he got some of that special, whatever that stuff. Yeah, he got injected in my veins and he came back out. But this year, I don't see any of those guys made like that. And I was high on Corral. I think he's a great quarterback. Mm-hmm. Replacing him is going to be harder than people are assuming, and people are giving Ole Miss the Lane Kiffin benefit of the doubt. I don't see it. Honestly, this is another team that historically has had a hard time beating Auburn over the last few years. There are not a lot of W's in their column in this game. Western Kentucky, obviously. Now, the toss-ups. A&M, Penn State, Arkansas. Now, I think that Arkansas has a chance to be an improved team. We beat them, but there's something about them getting their asses kicked last year that scares me for this year, especially on a team that has a chance to improve. So I'll be watching to see if our coaches fall into the trap of thinking you can play KJ Jefferson the same way this year that you did last year. Right. Now, you got to throw some different looks at him. Does he, by the time we get to this game, is KJ Jefferson conforming to the same patterns last year? Right. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. So I've got this in the toss-up column because I do think they'll be improved, although I like Auburn's chances in this game. Penn State is the only reason I have this in the toss-up is because it's early in the season and we don't know a lot. We could still be trying to figure out quarterback by the time this game comes around. So I've got it in the toss-up column. I believe this is a game Auburn should win, but I can see some reasons why we wouldn't win it unrelated to talent. So toss-up for me. Texas A&M, I explained my reasoning earlier. This could be a low-scoring, just a sluggish game. This could turn into an ugly game. So Texas A&M is in the toss-up column. I hate to say it, over there on the right, Georgia and Bama. No reasonable fan is counting those as wins right now, although I will say Georgia has a lot to atone for in terms of losses as well, too. So if either one of these teams is gettable, I'm definitely putting Georgia in that column. And I'll bet you that these guys have that game scheduled. Anybody on defense that's returning has that game scheduled. And Stetson Bennett is definitely going to have to take a step forward. I don't think he can be the same guy this year that he was last year. and they can have the same type of season. He's got to take steps forward, man, because that defense isn't going to be all world this year to bail you out. You're not going to be able to throw 10 passes in the game and win at a 50% clip. So I like us, similarly, I got 7 definite wins. I've got 3 toss-ups, of which I think we'll get one of them. I think we'll get one of those 3 games there, and then chalk the others up to L, and you got 8 and 4. I'm with Caesar on this one.
I have more toss-up wins or more toss-up games than everybody else does because, and I'll explain my toss-ups. I don't think I have to explain my wins. I'll explain my toss-ups when I put them up here on the screen. All right, and then I'll explain the other column as well.
Come on, man. Just show us the thing, man. Come on.
Here we go. All right.
Ooh, what is this?
Yeah. So,
man, Ike said we're going 5 and 7. Y'all see it?
Ike says, see, let me get your seat from last year. All right, I gotta take yours.
All right.
What is this?
So I have 6 wins on the schedule. The ones that Missouri, listen, I'm not even going to talk about Mercer and San Jose. You can say I'm overlooking them. I don't care. We should win those games. If you think any differently, then you make your own thing. Western Kentucky as well. I just don't think that Ole Miss has a good enough defense to be able to do anything regardless of what is happening at our QB position. I don't think Missouri has gotten that much improved on defense, and I don't think Mississippi State can spell defense. So it really just comes down to our ability to score points in those games, which I feel like will be adequate there, specifically in the run game. The toss-up here. I get everybody's optimism about LSU and first-year coach and blah, blah, blah. I just think that they've just got a ton of talent there, man. And if they can get right enough, they've got enough talent to make this questionable for me today because I haven't seen it yet. Yeah. And if the things I have here as toss-ups really speak to more about what I feel like those teams are going to be defensively more than anything else. I think Texas A&M is going to have a good defense. I think LSU is going to be improved on defense. I think Arkansas is going to have a good defense if they remain healthy. Penn State I have as a toss-up here just because of where it is on the schedule early in the season. To Mike's point, I don't know that we'll have this QB situation figured out by then. I think that we're going to play our butts off. And I just refuse to put, before the season starts, Alabama in that putrid offensive line as an automatic L for Auburn. They have to prove to me that they got better on offensive line because I think we got better on defense. Yeah. And they lost their top 2 passing targets. So they'll have an opportunity to gel later into the season, but I'm just not putting that as an automatic L for us. I'm speaking to Georgia as an automatic L because despite what they lost, I think that they have a good offensive line, and that game, it's going to be about whether or not we can stop them from scoring points, in my opinion. It's not going to be about how many points we can put up. It's going to be how many points we can limit them to. So of the toss-up games here, I think that we can get 3 of those 5. So I think if you go 3 for 5 in that middle column, then you have a good season there. And you can get to the requisite number of wins that will keep us and the fans in a good place mentally throughout the year.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can we throw that back up one more time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this is the most interesting thing that's happened in my day. That toss-up column, I can't disagree with any of this reasoning. The only thing I meant, maybe I don't see LSU being a toss-up. I just can't. I can't with them right now, right? But I like Bama in the toss-up column. Number 1, it's the Iron Bowl. Like, if I had any reason to not put it there, it's because it's in Tuscaloosa. But
and that's fair. I just don't think that Brian Harsin, to me, they have not looked scared on the road in their first year. They're not going to be scared on the road.
Yeah, correct.
I don't think so. Yeah, that's fair.
But the offensive line thing it's a big question mark because they were not just bad last year. They were worst in the league bad. Yeah. I hate when our fans say Bryce Young didn't deserve the Heisman. I didn't. I think that those comments make us look silly because he had very little help from that O-line in that Heisman run. And he put them all the way on his back to a national title until he just couldn't carry the load anymore. His 2 receivers got hurt. His receivers got hurt. The line was still playing the same. And then eventually he threw a pick 6 at the end, just trying to make a play for his team. But if he's going to run around like that this year, I don't know. There could be a couple L's in the loss column for Bama, because there are other teams that have a chance to get better. You know, Florida took them to two points. It was a 2-point win over Florida. And I said that I thought Bama could lose that game last year. I was almost right.
You
but
did.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So I like this. This isn't crazy. This isn't crazy at all. This actually probably is the most realistic of the 4 takes in terms of what's in the toss-up column. Because the truth is, these games could go any number of ways. But the point is that all you have to do is get one of these 5 to have a 7-6 season or 7-5 season.
Right.
One. Right. And of these, you got 2 teams that you beat already last year. Pick one. LSU or Arkansas would probably be the most likely.